So, I was out one day using a sword and I'd left on Bottom Tree Striker. I noticed that the knockout was triggering on sword hits and actually giving the damage buff to the sword. I checked all of the other melee buffs and knockout seems to be the only one that works with swords when they have ammo in them. And knockout gives a 60% damage increase. And if you combine this with whirlwind and other sword perks, you can actually get high damage output with swords. Now if we go to Greg to test damage, as you can see with just whirlwind, a light attack does 16,770 damage, and the uppercut does 7,623 4 times with 15,246 on the initial swing, which is 45,738 altogether, which is just over half the damage of an Izzy shot. Now if you combine this with knockout, the initial swing does 24,393, but the 4 hits stay the same at 7,623, which brings the total to 54,885. Now if we go to compare the DPS, the sword heavy attack takes 2.425 seconds, which brings the whirlwind damage to 56,583, which if you compare that with Izzy, with enhanced loaders it does 47,447, and with Rally or Lunafaction it does 66,423. So already we're doing pretty decent damage with swords. Now if we include knockout, you get 67,898, which is more than Izzy with Rally or Lunafaction. So with just whirlwind and knockout, you can get more sustained DPS than most weapons in the game. But we can actually increase this damage even further. If we include Assassin's Blade, that gives an extra 15% damage. Assassin's Blade and Whirlwind together get you 51,013 damage, and if you combine that with Knockout, you get 61,216. Now if you look at DPS, Whirlwind and Assassin's Blade get you 63,108, which is already pretty close to Lunafaction Izzy, even without using Knockout. Now if we combine all three, you get 75,731, which can compete with most grenade launchers' burst damage. If we actually compare this to Prospector, which has the highest burst damage, Prospector does 84,373, which is pretty close, especially considering this is sustained damage for the sword. And all you'll need to keep these two buffs going on top of Whirlwind would be to kill an ad near you, which would reset both Knockout and Assassin's Blade. Now in terms of practicality, a sword won't always be the best in certain situations, but you can combine this with Izzy since it's a legendary heavy. And if we compare just a Whirlwind sword to a non-Lunafaction or Rally Izzy, you still do more DPS. So swords are actually pretty decent for DPS. And in terms of optimal conditions for both, a sword will out DPS a lot of weapons in sustained. It's just a matter of keeping your buffs active, which if you keep ads alive isn't too much of an effort. And since you'll be on a Titan to use Knockout, you can combine Stronghold, which is a Titan exotic, which will heal you upon perfect blocks, and it will also not take any ammo while blocking. So that will be all for now. This is something new to me. Please comment below on improvements or suggestions for other videos. And if you did like it, then please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.